Hey guys and girls, it's Matty here from Tuckerbox Design. I wanted to do up some digital painting tutorials. I think it's one of those things that a lot of people look at these paintings and whatnot on websites and things like that, and you see these just the amazing work that people are doing, and it's pretty intimidating. You know, you think, oh man, how am I ever going to be able to do that? But what it is just breaking it down into elements and doing things piece by piece. I'm sure if you talk to those artists, they would tell you they've put in hours and hours of work developing their craft. So I think the best way to learn digital painting is to just learn small things every day. Just learn one or two things, probably just one thing every day. If you do that, you'll be so surprised at how much you will have learnt by 2 months, 3 months time. And then if you expand that out to a year, something like that, it'll just blow your mind at how much how far you've come. Okay, so the brushes we're going to need for this tutorial is the round brush. And the second brush we're going to need is the round brush with the soft edge. So I thought the first thing we'll tackle here is doing rocks and putting those into a painting. Very, very easy to do, surprisingly easy to do once you get it down. So the first thing we're going to need to do here is create a brush. Now this sounds very, very complicated, but it's very, very easy. All you have to do is hover your mouse over this circle in the brush window and left click, hold down, and just compress that circle till you've got a straight line. And the thinner the better with that line. Now what you can do is change the angle of that line. So it's the same deal. You just click on that line, left click, hold down, and change the angle. I'd probably set it at around 53 degrees, 54 degrees, something like that. The other thing you want to check, the shape dynamics should be off, and you should have smoothing checked. So if you've got that sorted, that's basically all you need. Then after that, using that brush, take a brown color, fairly dark brown color, and just head in there and just start putting in all sorts of shapes, different things you can think of. Now the big thing here is making those lines like on either side of the rock, making it very, very inconsistent. That's the name of the game with art, is making things inconsistent. When you're digital painting, if you've got uniformity, that's something you want to avoid. The other thing I'd suggest here too is really use your layers. This is just a simple tutorial, but when you get into more complex things, anytime you change the color, you do something different, put it on a new layer. Then everything's independent of one another and fully editable, and you'll find that is just such a good habit to get into. So then, using that same brush we've made, is we go in with a lighter brown color here, and I guess you'd call this a beige, something like that. So you chuck that in, and you chuck that in on the left hand side of the rock, or whatever side of the rock you want to put it on. So basically all you're doing is just going in and same again, make the left hand side and the right hand side inconsistent. You want those lines to be jagged, all sorts of stuff there. The other thing I wanted to mention too, once you've made that brush and saved it into your brush presets, what you can do is use that same brush as an eraser as well. So if you click on the eraser and then you click on the brush you've just made, you can actually, instead of laying down paint, you can cut paint out. So that's a really, really awesome thing to keep in mind. So not only have you made a brush for painting, you've made an eraser too that's fairly versatile as well. So then after that, we're just going in and just making some adjustments. So here I'm using the eraser just to cut things out, different things like that. And you can play around with it as long as you separate out those layers. So the beige color and the brown color, the deeper brown color, as long as they're on 2 different layers, this painting is fully editable. Then what I do is I take a look at this this top tool here. It's called the Magic Wand tool. So I select that tool, and then on your bottom layer, the darker brown layer, just click on it. What it'll do is it'll select that color and just select that whole outline you've got there. But what I'll do then is I'll make a layer between the beige and the dark brown, and keeping that selection on, I'll use the round soft edge brush and just go in, put a darker tone, anything darker than that first dark brown you put down, and just use that soft edge brush to put in some highlights around the rocks there, just underneath that beige layer. Makes it look pretty good. Now, the other thing you can do here is put in a gradient, but if you are new to digital painting, that might confuse you a little bit. So in another tutorial, I'll show you how to put in a gradient and things like that. You can put in a gradient into these rocks there and really make it look very realistic. And that's simply a matter of putting in a background. You can put clouds in front, whatever you want to do. You're laughing after that. That's my tutorial on doing rock. I hope these tutorials just show you how easy it is to produce a digital painting once you get the techniques down. Always remember, artists are pretty generous people too. If you see an artist and they've done some sort of work, just ask them. Most people, it's human nature. People just want to help you, and artists are really good that way too. They'll show you what they did and help you out. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, take care of yourselves. Talk to you really soon. See ya.